If you're somebody who's wanting to improve their hearing, but the cosmetics of the devices currently available on the marketplace have been a bit of a turn-off, then I'm here to tell you today that both for yourself and existing users of the receiver and the canal hearing aids, there is a solution that might just make your hearing aid almost invisible. So here today, I'm going to talk about Vanish Hide My Hearing Aids, coming next. Hi, my name is Matthew Pearson from Zone 1 Hearing in London, and for the last 15 years I've had the pleasure and privilege of helping people from all over the world hear better. So if you'd like to learn all about hearing instruments, accessories and ears, then we'd love you to subscribe to our channel, to like our content, to share with anyone who you may think it will help, and to make any comments on any future content you'd like to see. Thank you very much. So working in such a cosmopolitan location as central London, myself and Mrs. Pearson were quite frustrated about how we weren't able to get the hearing aids we were prescribing for our patients to look as discreet as we would like, because we always felt that hearing aids should look just as neat and discreet on people irrespective of where they come from or their race or colour. So we started to look at options of how we could make the hearing aids look a bit more discreet. So we looked at things we could add to the wire, such as different pens and bits and pieces like that, but nothing was really very satisfactory. And then I think in around 2014-15, we were really happy when we found the product Vanish Hide My Hearing Aids. And when we spoke to the owners of the company, we were really interested to hear their journey. So Al Musser, who is one of the owners of the company, had been fitted with a hearing aid by his audiologist and said, regarding these little wires, could you colour them for me? And he said, no, I can't. And he said, well, there must be a product that does it. And he said, well, there isn't. So Al went and developed the product over a 3-year period to answer just that sort of issue that he'd picked up on, which is that the tubes can sometimes not be as discreet as you'd like, quite shiny and a little bit noticeable. So Vanish Hide My Hearing Aids is a dye solution that can be supplied in either lighter colours or darker colours, and the way that it works is by using a period of time that you soak the receiver tube in the dye. It corresponds with one of 9 colours that you can measure your skin tone against, so meaning that pretty much anybody on this planet should be able to get a great looking hearing aid receiver wire, or indeed thin tube, and I believe probably behind the ear hearing aid. So really the solution is for absolutely everybody. It is also low cost. In the States it will cost $49.90 and free shipping is inclusive within that price. In the UK you pay the same price but you just pay for the shipping, so maybe it would be worth getting a couple of the dye sets over for any future wires you'd want to dye. Now my advice would be, if you're going to dye the wires, maybe get a couple, because if, or a couple dyed rather, because if a part will go wrong on a receiver in the canal hearing aid, it is typically the receiver, generally due to wax ingress or people not changing the filter on the receiver. But if you get a couple done, then if one of them fails, you're not going to have to go back to one of these shiny tubes or receivers. So I think that's always a bit of a top tip. So in terms of the process, the first step would to be measured against a little gauge which looks at which of the 9 skin tones you are closest to. So once you've decided on your colour number, you would then take your receiver, and you've got a little scuffing pad where you would make it have a very slightly rough finish and give it a slightly milky appearance to allow the dye to adhere to it. You would then take the receiver and put it into the little container which the dye is going to go into. So once this is positioned, you would then take the dye and prepare it. So you press a button to prime the dye, you then shake it thoroughly. You will hopefully have your stopwatch ready and to have the corresponding amount of time there for the colour that you've chosen. And then you pour the dye into the container, you wait for the allotted amount of time, take the dye and pour it back into the container. Once you've done that, the receiver is ready to be used. So they dry almost instantaneously. They don't leave a mess on your clothes or on your skin. They're hypoallergenic, so they're fully tested in that respect. And I think you'll see immediately a big improvement in the cosmetics. So you've got a low cost, easy solution, works for any receiver wire or thin tube. One of my top tips would be, if you've got a detachable sports lock or retention lock, as they sometimes get called, I would actually also put that in to be dyed, but I would just reduce the amount of time I put that in the dyeing container, because otherwise you end up with a nice discrete wire, but then the sports lock can be slightly noticeable. But again, it's very easy to do. So can you reuse the dye? I mean, it's something I've certainly redone. So I mean, it represents great value. So I've actually, by taking it out and then recanting it back into the container, been able to do several receivers. So certainly for someone who may have spent thousands of pounds or dollars on their hearing aids, for that extra bang for the buck of the extra sort of cosmetic appeal of the aid, how discreet it's going to be now, I think well worth the money. What I'm going to do is link below where you can buy the product. So a couple of ways you can deal with it. Either you can sort of fit the dye, if that's the right word, so administer the dye. If you decide that's maybe a bit tricky for you, it is an easy process. There I'm sure will be an audiologist somewhere near you who'll be able to help. So I'm sure for a small fee they could assist you with this. If you're in the London area, I'm going to put a link below for our contact page. We'd love to see you if you want to try this product. Just simply bring that into us for the colour that's right for you, the dark or the light kit, and we'll help you with that. And yeah, I mean, any questions you've got, please pop those in the comments below. But to me, this is a fantastic product, a fantastic find. I'm really glad Al and Jill designed it. Great people to deal with. There's a no quibble guarantee on their products. It really does work. And if you're coming to our office in Zone 1, we've got a whole kind of portfolio of photographs of people who've been fitted with it of all different hues and all look really fantastic. So this is Matthew Pearson from Zone 1 Hearing, wishing you a fantastic rest of your day. And as a reminder, please like, share, subscribe and comment. And we look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you very much.